Alright guys, we're doing this outside today because I'm crazy, clearly. Oh, the wind. I'm so cold I can't even think. So, new episode of Wreck This Journal, yay! This week, the first page I have is the numbers page, which I know is like super boring, but you know, you gotta do it. You're at the beginning, I feel, so I did. Alright, so for this page, I feel like this is a typical numbers page where you put a bunch of numbers on the background. I did them with pen, just in black, filled them in with colored stripes, and then went over the font that was previously on the page with some white so that it would kind of stand out a bit. And then of course I actually put the numbers on all the pages. I decided to do them in pencil so that as I'm doing each page I can find a way to incorporate the number into the design if I want to. An obvious one is edges. Okay, so this one says close the journal, write, scribble something on the edges. So I'd lost the footage for this, which is why you can see the cover isn't even decorated, but I found it, so I included it in this video, and it's just the scribble on the edges of the journal page. I did them in a purple marker. I didn't do a solid job or anything. I just kind of wanted it more to look rough. Then on the actual page, to decorate it, I did a starburst kind of on one side just in crayons, and then on the black book I drew the Wreck This Journal title logo, and then the written by Carrie Smith, and then completed it by myself because I did it. So I also did the float this page. When I tore this page out, I made sure to leave a margin so I can tape it back in. And then once it was loose, I just went over the lines with purple and blue, and then actually floated that page once the ink had all dried. And then so while it was drying, I worked on the other side. I just did a boat floating on water because, you know, float this page. So I did pencil work and then just like really rough watercolors, not like in the lines or anything, because I wanted to kind of look sketchy. And then I went over that once it was dry with a pen and did some line work. So the water itself reactivated the paint on the page, which I expected it to, and I really liked it, but I didn't think it was bold enough, so I actually outlined the font and then kind of made like a window looking in, and then did more pigmented colors. And also this time I decided to include green because that's kind of oceany, and then once that was done I taped it back into the book. And then for the freeze this page, which is really ugly and I'm really sorry, I really hate it, but here we are. For this page I also tore it out, of course, because you have to freeze the actual page. Did some watercolors, let it dry, then put it in a Ziploc bag to kind of reactivate the watercolors, and then also put it in the freezer to freeze it. While that was freezing, I worked on the other side of the page. I had some nice color bleed through from the front of the page, which was the float this page. So I thought I could do some snowflakes, and then maybe use puffy paint, but it just looked so bad, and then I wiped it away, and then it left smears. It was just all around awful. So one of the more fun pages that I did was the scratch this page, and I think this is a pretty original idea because I looked all over the internet like crazy and I hadn't seen anybody do anything like this. They were just scratching into the actual paper differently with different objects. So I decided to actually make it like scratch paper, which obviously would have worked better if it was like thick paper, but you work with what you got. So I started with one side of the page and I did blues and purples and they're oil pastels, and then I mixed black acrylic paint with some dish soap, just like a quarter sized amount of each, and then painted over the pastels, and then I decided I should do the same on the other side but with a different color scheme, so that's what I did. Then once they were both dry, I took a like an etching tool, but you could use anything sharp and pointy to like make sure that it would actually scratch off, and it did. So then I was like just intrigued by trying out different things. Thought maybe feathers would look cool. I tried some bubbles and just did both sides of the page, and obviously they're different because they're different colors underneath. Another page I did was the scribble recklessly scribble wildly, violently with a reckless abandon, and I did this girl with an afro. Recently Michael's niece has been wearing her hair like in a big afro all the time, and I love it, so I was very inspired for this page. This page was pretty simple. I just drew a person, used some watercolors to fill it in, then painted her hair, used a Kleenex to like damp away, or pat away I guess, all the dampness of the watercolor and like dilute it, and then just scribbled with a marker, added some color to the background, and then went over that with pencil crayon, but I didn't show that part because I didn't film it apparently. Alright, so the last page I have to do for this video is the name page. The last page is the name page, and I did on the side that has the instructions, I went over each instruction with a different color of the rainbow, and then followed the instructions and filled it in. And then on the other side, I put my nickname, which is Gesso, and then I just did like swirlies around it, and I think it looks kind of cool. Then of course, once the whole page was done, I actually followed the instructions and filled it out. So I just wrote my name in a bunch of ways. The first one was written in white, so I did it in black. Then I went over it in white so you could still see it. Then illegibly, and then backwards, and then, you know, do really small, huge, faintly, all these things. Anyways, so yeah. That's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Alright, see ya, bye! Alright, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. Also, click the video on the screen to see my last video, which also happens to be a Wreck This Journal video. And then also, if you would like, I have a specific Instagram for my Wreck This Journal called Gesso Journals, and I actually post pages, all of my completed pages there, so you can see them. But I tend to post them as I complete them. or like as I complete a set of them instead of like when I post a video. So you'll see a little sneak peeky of my pages if you follow me there. Yeah. Okay, bye!